Hey guys, welcome to 2021. I hope everybody is doing good and feeling good and excited about the new year. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I'm actually like a month late because I've been so busy with my other businesses that it's been just very crazy, very busy, and I hope the same for you guys. I am going to be starting with a brand new deck, and I love it. It is absolutely amazing. It's the Light Seers deck, tarot deck, and it's just fantastic. I really like the imagery on it. I like the messages that it brings, so we're going to be using that today and probably throughout this whole deal. So I am going to focus, I promised in December's videos that I would be looking at love as well as the main focus of the month, and I wanted to focus on the astrological energies, and I devised the questions based on all of the different astrological changes that we'll see. And this reading is actually going to be covering January and February because I am late and I don't want you guys to wait a full month to get January, and I like to disperse kind of one by one. So you're not waiting. I'm going to do a combination of January energy and February energy. But before we get started, I did want to just give a quick message on how those energies are going to look for you, and then I will kind of specify a little bit further for your particular zodiac as well. But for everybody in general, the first 2 weeks or so of January is going to be really focused around that new moon solar eclipse energy, and it's kind of coming from mid-December in the sign of Sagittarius and kind of into January. That energy started out with these promised, opportunities of exploration and discovery and kind of this awakening and giving us that courage to expand our horizons and gain some insight from experiences and not feel quite so anxious about the end of the year, but more excited for the beginning of the new year. So you're a little bit more inclined to nurture yourself, your faith, your hope, your vision. And it's really, as we get into January, I would recommend not to jump too much into new adventures. I certainly would be a bit more aware of your impulses this coming month. As you follow through, just be easy at this time. Impulses can definitely work the better of us if we're not in tune with our needs, and it can lead to mistakes if we are not focused on that properly. So just watch for making decisions while in the freedom of all costs kind of mindset. Okay, now at the end of January, Mercury is going retrograde. Don't freak out. It's going into the sign of Aquarius on the 30th. And the main questions I'm focusing in the end of January and beginning of February does focus on Mercury retrograde, how you can prep for it, what you can do to kind of stay in touch with staying a step ahead of the game here, so to speak, so that you don't have a whole lot of you have more benefit from the retrograde than you do that decline that a lot of people can sometimes feel. Mercury retrograde in Aquarius will kind of tap into our more humanitarian side of things. So more prone to inner muse when it comes to innovative ideas, or slowdowns and delays might be likely when it comes to productivity, as opposed to being more in touch and in tune with your relationships, if you will. Okay, as we get into February, we are going to have an accumulation of planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, and the Sun are going to come into Aquarius, and this alignment will be boosted with the entry of Venus in the sign of Aquarius as well. So it'll tell us more about the desire for emotional independence, and on the other hand, with the square between Saturn and Aquarius and Uranus and Taurus, it will also have it'll allude to eternal resistance to changes. So also be aware of that when you are maybe facing some shifts that you might feel a little bit outside of your box. You definitely don't want to necessarily just elude from it. You want to look at it, especially if it's during that retrograde period, on what that lesson can bring for you. Other than that, the best time to ask for a favor is going to be February 12th through the 13th, when the planets are adding a special blessing in a beautiful way. Okay, so we're going to kind of get into this. I've got about 8 or 10 questions for you guys. I will find out the best message for you when it comes to love, and then when we get into the March readings, I will really start looking into that, but I want to focus more on you for the first part of the year. Okay, so let's get into it. I appreciate your patience with all that, but a lot of good information. I think you should be informed. That's super important, so let's get into it. All right, guys. Hey, Sag. All right, let's take a look and see how this new moon energy and Capricorn is going to affect you. We're going to start with, where do you need to apply Where do you need to apply this Capricorn energy, and kind of what what long-term goals do you need to put your attention into, okay? So, where do you need to apply this Capricorn energy? Let's see. Jesus, Sagittarius, you guys are going nuts on me here. I can't talk, I can't hold the cards. Alright, the Moon in reverse and the Tower card. Jeez. Okay, well, the Moon in reverse is about bringing things that haven't been kind of dealt with to the table, dealing with some emotional situations, possibly some distorted perspectives that have been out there, kind of not in the open, but being felt more or less, especially with the Tower card there. So things that need to be addressed or dealt with, are things that haven't been, that are coming out on the table at this point. That's what I'm seeing there. Long-term goals. What long-term goals need your attention? We've got the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is about a blessing in disguise or a cycle shift that maybe you don't see quite 100% of what it can mean or what it can bring, but you still feel and resonate to the fact that it needs to be addressed. Long-term goals, again, the Emperor. So there is some kind of an influence in your life, Sag, that's just not fulfilling you in a way, and as much as you want it to, it's needing some attention, it's needing to be discussed, and that is going to be dealt with in the next couple months, okay? What needs to be cleansed here? Seven of Pentacles. Either somebody's trying to come in and kind of build themselves into your future, or you're needing to build upon your own in some way here. So, Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, if you've got some kind of energy that is just trying to kind of take its place in your little space there, then definitely handle the situation accordingly, because that may need to be kind of just ex-nayed, if you will. Definitely don't hesitate, though. I would definitely take care of that before it becomes a problem. Let me know if you need clarification on what that is, okay? Who or what do you need to detach from? Queen of Pentacles. If there's somebody or something that's just trying to come in and kind of put their own 2 cents into the situation, even though they really don't have, the backing to do so, they just think they can, and it's really just pissing you off. I can see that the best thing to do here would just be to handle the situation, all right? Now's the time to deal with it. It's really the best thing I can say for that, because there's something, either handle it and it goes in the way that you'd like, or you need to disconnect from it altogether. Knight of Wands is about bringing that transition to the table. As much as you might not like, what's the word? Confrontation. Now's the time to be the Spitfire and put it all out there. Alright? Use that Capricorn energy to the best of your ability, because you got a lot of manifesting power and you've got a lot of potential out there. In doing that, what is the next best practical approach there? Page of Cups. So using your intuition, allowing yourself to deal with that situation by using your logistics and putting it out there, and just kind of being wise and being one step ahead of it, I guess, if you will. What can you expect from that? Six of Swords. You can expect that problem to just kind of dissipate. Seek some clarity, find some, peace in the situation, and so the more you deal with it, the better the outcome is, in other words, okay? Nine of Swords. It's not that it's going to be necessarily like the most comfortable, but you not only find healing from it, but you're able to discern between the things or the energies, people, perhaps, the situations that have your best interest and the ones that do not. And that's an important thing to know as you get into this vision and into this bigger plan, okay? So with that in mind, let's just kind of expand on that vision. And we've got a new moon in Aquarius here. How can you expand on your vision? Four of Swords in reverse. So first of all, you start this whole deal off by putting certain things to rest that needs to be, and you renew energies and activities that need to take place, or that need to kind of revamp or wake up or pursue, that need pursuit. You expand on that. So you put the old things aside and you expand it on the new stuff. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So you're releasing anything and you're able to see through anything that's a waste of time, bad news, just whatever it is. This Aquarian energy is allowing you to get that sense really into clear perspective here, especially with the things that you are very passionate about and the things that really kind of have a perfect place in the puzzle. You're now able to see things because you've cleared out all that bullshit, right? So overall, what benefit will Aquarian energy bring you in the next couple months, or at least in February? Four of Wands in reverse. So an understanding between what is real and what it isn't real is what I'm seeing here. Possible new relationships and ambitions and things that are going to bring you down, but it's because of what you can identify that you're able to find what can be a new potential. Let me know if you need clarification on that for your own personal understanding. How will retrograde lessons affect you? Queen of Wands. So it's going to test you. It's going to test your charisma. It's going to test your strength. Death and rebirth. Of course, that came out. Every single zodiac, including you, the 12th one, you're my last one, has had this come out. And I find that incredible, actually. I mean, it's not like all the cards come out, and I find that just absolutely incredible. There's a rebirth taking place. You are having a renewal because you're putting away that old energy and things that aren't going to be conducive to your future, and you're opening your mind and your heart and your door to things that are making sense and that can do good things for you. Now, the retrograde is bringing you an opportunity to see the difference. How can you prep for this? Okay, so the prepping part is having that spiritual wisdom, having that guidance and that traditional maybe rule of thumb where you can kind of identify it a little bit easier, and that will help the effect of it not be so detrimental. That was the Three of Cups in reverse. So that's about not feeling that pain necessarily, but avoiding it more than anything, okay? And what area do you need more balance, Sagittarius? We've got the Eight of Pentacles. So you need more balance in pursuing something that needs pursuit. The Eight of Pentacles is about going back to something that needs, that you have a pleasure in, or that you have a passion in, that you have not pursued, and you need contentment in that situation. So you need to balance that out, and the best way that you can do that is to get yourself away from any old or bad influences or negative influences so that you can just see and feel clearly and pursue as needed. Now, in the Department of Love, I just want to take a quick peek and see kind of where that's going here. We've got the Six of Cups. So that's kind of a nostalgic feeling of maybe, trying to step away from some old, manipulation possibly, and trying to see kind of above that and building some steps to where you guys can build upon some things. But this Three of Cups here, I still see there might be some... Three of Cups in reverse. There might still be some residual pain from the past. Suggested action to take on that situation is to let it go, detach from that, and allow yourself to feel what a new love can bring, which is something that's not conflicting. It's generous, it's kind, it's loving, all right, and it can bring you some good things. But at the moment, it's planting the seed that it's actually a possibility and that transition can take place. You've had a lot of experience with some jealous and narrow-minded people, and I feel like for some of you, you're still kind of healing from that. But suggested actions would be to consider what it would mean to have somebody that's not prejudiced and unyielding or judgmental, but is actually, in a sense, willing to put things where it belongs, and have good news when it comes to your strength and your goodness, as opposed to breaking it down. That actually builds you up. Imagine that. So it's not that the possibility is not there. It's just a matter of you believing that it's a possibility, because you see you're quite reserved and maybe even guarded about all of that type of deal. But the suggested action when it comes to love here is to recognize what it is that you were disappointed about, and also that that's not necessarily the case for the future. You can have long-term goals, you can set new milestones, there can be progression and success in your relationship. You don't always have to stay in that hangman position. You can rise above that and have a very happy type of success, or a happy type of result in your relationship, as long as you're identifying the problems, you're putting it out on the table ahead of time. That person can can recognize and actually support and bring more healing to the situation as opposed to the opposite, okay? So as far as your chakras go, we'll take a quick peek and just see kind of where you're at. Personal power. So where you might feel like you're in control of everything personally, you know, in the love department, I do get the feeling like that could be something that you can get a little bit of assistance with. So you might be having some interesting dreams, and you might need a little bit of balance when it comes to that third eye chakra, as opposed to, you know, what you're intuitively feeling and seeing as opposed to what you're actually putting your energy into. Might need a little bit more balance, okay? So if you want to look at that and see if you need some clearings, you can do the personal assessment. It's down below. It is free. Let me know if that's something you're interested. Otherwise, guys, you know, I hope you have a fantastic month. I hope your new year's been great. If you want to look at your personal situation, feel free to let me know. Interestingly enough, you have rebirth at the bottom of the deck, so you guys should have a very interesting couple months, okay? Feel free to reach out and let me know. Otherwise, have a great January and February, and we'll see you in March. Much love. We'll see you soon.